Well, welcome back. This is another view of the Trainworld City Steelworks. We're looking here at the Open Hearth building, which is one of the larger models on the complex. This probably isn't going to show up as well, but because of the size of the model, I was only able to model this in the actual furnaces in two-dimensional, which is why they look skinny here. But when you look at them, they actually look 3D from the side. It still isn't finished, but pretty much everything in here is scratch-built. The cranes are scratch-built. The hot metal mixer you see is actually built out of old two beef jerky chew cans, and the walkways are all made out of old wire mesh from screen door material. So it was all fairly cheap to do this as compared to buying everything outright. Some ingot trains going into the soaking pit building. The soaking pit building is actually, it's another one of these buildings, these Helgen 2-bay engine sheds. The Open Hearth was built with two of them and then modified to create this building. This is actually the building in stock form. The rest of the rolling mills, for the most part, are Walther's 2-bay engine sheds, with some other buildings that are mixed in there. There's a couple. This is an old Airfix engine shed. Those are model power to create, I think, the merchant mill. The ore bridges, there's two there. There should be three. I still have one in a box I'm working on for the prototype. There was three at Duluth. This is a powerhouse. It's not perfect, but it's fairly close. I'll be working on that at some point in the future. The boiler house. This is one of two boiler houses. I'm not sure why Duluth had two. Nobody really knows why. Maybe that they were just inefficient at some point and they decided to go with another. But this was the original boiler house with the 4 stacks, and it originally powered this blast furnace, which was the original blast furnace at Duluth. They actually brought another furnace up from Joliet, which really resembles the Walther's furnace, which would go right here. But I don't have one, so it just sits there empty. And then, of course, there was another boiler house that fed that blast furnace, which went here. So I don't have either of those to show, but that's where they would be. This is the coke plant. These are made of two Walther's blast furnaces, and they were combined together, married together. Those are just two PVC pipes that are sitting in for the smokestacks right now. I'm not deciding if I'm going to use those or not. I might. The blast furnace stoves will actually be made of those as well. I just haven't gotten to that yet. The blast furnace will be modified later. The rolling stock in cars and locomotives, some are actually domestic stock vehicles. You can see the Sioux line in there, and some other vehicles. Others are custom made. The green and white ones are the Frostbite Falls. The maroon and gold ones are the Trainworld and Chippewa Range Railway, which is kind of a mimic of the DMIR. The Canadian National you can see, and of course in the back there's the red and blue of the DWP. So there are some local lines that are here on top of the steel plant fleet. This is one of the Trainworld and Chippewa Range locomotives. I know it doesn't look very well. And there's another one there. The black and yellow ones represent the American Steel and Wire Division of U.S. Steel. This should be modified here for the Trainworld Works. This is a Mahina coal and chemical engine. I actually used an old Budweiser bow tie to mimic the emblem. But its purpose on Trainworld will be to haul chemicals and coal and that type of thing. And that's why these coal cars that have the bow tie on them are all from that line. The gray cars are from a fictional company called Mallet Transportation, and I haven't gotten to that point yet. And there's some Sioux line stuff there. But as you can see, it is coming along nicely. It's taken me quite a while to get this done. It's been almost 2 years in the making. Just some of my DWP fleet and the Canadian National and the Sioux line and what have you. This is fictional rail yard staging area is actually based on a real rail yard. This was Steelton Yard. The rail yard still exists and is used by the Canadian National, formerly the DMIR. There's a view of some of the rolling mills. These were all These are all pre-made buildings, and they're all empty. I don't have anything in them, but they were all based on designs of the Duluth plant. So these buildings are pretty much right up to specs to what you would see if you walked around in the Duluth plant, if it were still around. The only thing left at the Duluth plant is actually where these rail cars, or these ore cars, are going over the rail. This wall where the bridge cranes are is the only thing left of the Duluth plant. Everything else is gone. So it's just a big empty field. So that is it. That is the overview of the Trainworld City Steelworks. So thank you kindly for your time.